All right, what's up, chat? Hopefully everybody's doing well in the comments. Chat, I'm gonna let y'all get on in here, and we're gonna talk about this very important situation going on right now. I'm gonna talk about this right now. This is to everybody that's in the chat that's gonna pop up in this comments. Like, share, subscribe. I only want to bring forth factual information in this case that is actually in the dockets, actually been spoken by the family or been spoken by Karmelo Anthony. I don't want to put information from somebody else on YouTube or X or TikTok or Facebook or Instagram that don't know what the hell they talking about. Right? There was a person that came in and argued with me in the last stream, and he told me I didn't know what I was talking about. If you guys remember that person, you guys can come in and say it now in the chat. And he came in and he was very disrespectful to me, and he told me I didn't know what the hell I was talking about as far as Texas law, when I told him that Karmelo Anthony had been found guilty of first-degree murder. And he told me that I did not know what I was talking about, that that was a lie, and that, you know, they came in here and just made every excuse in the book. Now, if you guys remember that, I need y'all to confirm that and press 1 in the comment section. And the reason why I say that is because I have the paperwork today. And I'm going to show you the paperwork. I'm not going to show you what somebody else is saying on YouTube. They don't know what the hell they talking about. Oh, they're the ones overly emotional and, you know what I'm saying, all this other things. I'm going to show you on here actual, factual evidence. What I have brought forth today is the paperwork. Y'all know that's what we do on this channel. We get the paperwork, right? Karmelo Sincere Anthony. We get the paperwork. Now, the first thing I'm going to address is the dude who came in here and was talking greasy to me and said I didn't know what I was talking about. Dog, this is what I do. We get into this paperwork, bro. So, matter of fact, I ain't even gonna hold you, dog. Let me go ahead and just do this real quick. Because I normally don't do this, but I'm gonna do this for you. You see this paperwork right here? That's called a register of actions. You know what that is, sir? You know what a register of actions is? That shows everything that happened in this case, okay? Look at this. You can go look this up. It's in the Collin County Registry, sir, right? This is what you need to do. See, when people come on the internet and they don't have no idea what they're talking about, y'all, you show them what you talking about. Ladies and gentlemen, do you see that name right there on the screen right here? The state of Texas versus Karmelo Sincere Anthony. That's the first part right there. See, y'all already know what I do. When I come with that ether, I make it burn slow in them because I come with paperwork, factual paperwork that's in the files. Karmelo Sincere Anthony, the state of Texas versus Karmelo Sincere Anthony. Now, this guy came in here and told us last video. You guys can go check the very last video I did. He came in here cussing me out in the comment section, saying I didn't know what I was talking about because there was no first-degree charges in Texas. Not only did I go and show you that there's first-degree murder charges in Texas, not only am I going to prove this to you, you know what else I'm going to prove to you guys? I got the actual police report and paperwork. See, this is what happens. I don't deal with overly delusional people. Read that right there. You see what that says right there when it says level? What does that say, y'all? I outlined that for y'all on the screen. What does that say? First degree felony. I thought he said it wouldn't happen like that. I thought he said it. Didn't I tell y'all it was statute 1902? Didn't I tell y'all this? Look at the statute right there. Outline the statute right there. The statute is 1902. Didn't I tell y'all this? See, this is why I say this thing. This is why I talk the way I talk. Because people just come on here and they like to slander and say things based off their emotion. And then when I come out with the ether napalm on them, now the switch up is going to be real. The goalpost moving is going to be real. So as you see on your screen right there, what does it say, y'all, in the comment section? Level, first degree felony is what he's charged with. First degree felony murder, period. This is why I told you his charging guidelines was 5 to 99 years in prison. Because he was charged with first degree murder. Here it goes right here. Karmelo Sincere Anthony charges 1, murder. Statute 1902, level, first degree. Where's that brother at? Where's that brother at? I just started this video with you. It gets worse after this. I just started this video with you, big dog. It's going to get worse after this, big dog. I started this video with you because you slandered me in my last video, and I didn't even disrespect you, brother. All I did is double back, Rev Run, bubble bath, and when they got the paperwork on you, bro. So when you tell me I don't know what I'm talking about, bro, stop listening to people on internet that don't bring no paperwork. Don't bring no official paperwork that you can go and see in the document, in the actual case files yourself. I have here, ladies and gentlemen, all of the motions that was made. That's why when I said what I said on the internet, I said what I said with my chest out, because I knew what I was talking about. These were all of the other events, hearings, and motions made in this case. You see right there? Do you guys see it? It's right there on your screen. Do you see this? Arrest fee, on site, all of these things right here I'm showing y'all. This is all in the paperwork, right? Letter of representation, approving bond by sheriff, case file indictment, OCA, right? Order to redact, letter of representation, right? TFDA, the ingredient packet, I should say, right? Attorney appointment eligible. Notice to appear has been issued. Defense application for subpoena. All these different subpoenas I got right here on the paperwork. And I'm going to get right into it because I'm finna show y'all today. Y'all share the video, like the videos, y'all come on in. Like the videos, y'all come on in. Because it's going to get surgical. It's going to get surgical. You see all these orders? Gag orders on the cases. Judge John Roach enters. Right? Right here. Right? Boom. Docket control. The judge enters. Right here, the judge enters. Y'all see all this? So I'm showing y'all this in the comment section to show you guys. A lot of these people just on YouTube just talking, man, and they don't know what they're talking about. But let's keep going, because today I'm going to read you guys the actual police report with the actual statements. So when people come on YouTube and lie and bring convicted sex offenders on their channel to continue a lie, I'm going to bring you the truth. I'm going to bring you the truth. Now, everybody, smash the like button and press 1 in the comment section if you would like to see right now the official police report for Karmelo Anthony and the statements in the police report that was presented and statements from Hunter Metcalf and others. Press 1 if y'all want to see that right now. I have that right now. I have it right now. I have that and more. So I'm not coming on here guessing, saying, oh, well, somebody else got it. No. I got it right here. F with me, you know I got it. F with me, you know I got it. I just landed in Europe, nigga. Shopping bag, I'm a tourist, nigga. Reebok on, I just do it, nigga. All right, y'all want to see it? Okay, cool. Let's get right to it. Bingo. What is that, y'all? Ladies and gentlemen, what is that on your screen? What is that, though? I was never capping, right? Huh? I pulled up in a Wraith. I pulled up in a Wraith playing AR Ab. Let's blow that up. Because I know that's what y'all want me to do. Y'all want me to blow it up. Like Shanae say. Right? Can y'all read that well on the screen? This ain't no cap. This ain't no fake talk. This ain't no lies. This ain't no grifting innuendos. This ain't no, oh, let me get some more followers and subscribers off a murder case. This is when you come in here and you drop the coolest cold hard facts on their helmet. Right? Now let's read the report. Let's see what the people said. Let's see if Karmelo told the cops he got jumped. Remember? Let's see. Right? Y'all see this right here, right? Arrest report. There it is right there. There it is right there. Came to the party for the photos. Right? You guys can go look this up yourself. Arrest number 25000829. Go look it up yourself. If you think I'm lying, okay. Let's keep going. Smash the like button as y'all come on in here, share the video. Remember they told y'all, hey, ticket, man. This ain't no first degree murder. What does the charge say on the police report? Remember that dude came in here running his mouth to me, telling me I ain't know what I was talking about? Oh, in Texas, nigga. Bro, you in Texas, you don't even know what's going on in Texas. You in Texas, and you don't even know what's going on in Texas, brother. How is that? How did I come on here and drop this ether napalm bomb on you and ether you already? Now, everybody in the comment section, y'all remember the slander that they put on my name. So when I come out here and show you facts, they can't show you nothing. All they can do is sell you a fake dream. Lies and more grift. That's it. Sell you a fake video that don't exist. All of these other things, lie. Just lie. That's what you can tell what people been doing their whole lives is lying. Because the lies get better and better and better. I'm just showing you paperwork. Let's go through it. So y'all see, everybody knows. So we see right here, y'all. It says first degree felony right here. Charge type. First degree felony murder. I thought I was lying though. I thought the nigga said I was capping. See, when a nigga say I'm capping, I just go get the paperwork, dog. And not only this, let me see this. Let me see this to y'all. Let me show something to y'all. This how surgical everything is now. It's all coming out. Hold on, you guys. It's all coming out. I'll show y'all something. It's all coming out. Hold on. Let's show y'all this. Don't y'all even know the evidence backpack has now been released? That's the backpack. That's the backpack that Karmelo Anthony had. Right? Remember all these people told y'all? I just want y'all to remember what people was on here lying telling y'all. Right? Because when they tell a lie, what do, y'all? We tell the truth. That's it. They told y'all, oh, man, ticket, it wasn't a knife, man. It wasn't a knife. Ain't that what they said? It wasn't a knife? Let me go back to that. Hold on. Ain't that what they said? It wasn't a knife? How many inches that say? Didn't I say it was 3.5 inches? It was a cleat cleaning tool. You a damn lie. And you know what? God gonna deal with you. Maybe on earth you can get away with that. On earth you can get away with that. You can get away with that lie. It's easy to come on YouTube and deceive people because people are easily deceived in the world we live in. They're easily deceived. In this world we live in, people are easily deceived. Remember they told y'all they didn't see no blood on that knife? You see it now? Remember they told y'all that? Oh, I don't see no blood on the knife, ticket. This is cap. Remember they told y'all this? We're not arguing can you carry a knife or not. We're not arguing that. We're arguing that they're saying he didn't have a knife. We're arguing that they're saying that, oh no, he fell on the knife. This is all the stuff these people are telling me. When the man admitted himself that he stabbed dude. He didn't admit that he tried to kill him. He admitted that he stabbed him in self-defense, which I believe is true. I believe it's self-defense. But what I won't do is believe lies, cap, innuendos, false statements, and things like that. Now let's move this out the way and let's get back to this real quick. Police report, y'all. Police report. This is what's important right here. Police report. Let's get to it. Right here. On 4/2/25, right? At 10:01 hours, move this over here so y'all can see it. Stanley School Resource Officer E. Cortez have over the radio dispatch call out of stabbing call at the David Kuykendall Stadium. There's the address right there. FPD call notes indicates that athlete was stabbed. The suspect was reported as being a black male wearing a gray hoodie, blue sweatpants. I immediately left my office and ran across the Stanley Middle School parking lot towards a southwest entrance into the stadium. As I entered the stadium, 2 high school students informed me that the victim was on the north end of the stadium by the bleachers under a Memorial High School tent. I did not identify these students. Next, I proceeded towards the north end of the stadium, visitor side on foot. As I got closer to the north end, to the person who said they didn't produce a real knife in court, they did produce a real knife in court, Tay-T. This is the real knife. Ma'am, do not be fooled. Be not deceived. That's the real knife. They presented it in court, and I just showed you. You know why? This is the actual evidence that they presented in court. All you have to do is go look at the court files, ma'am. Ma'am, where do you think I got this from? Where do you think I got this from? Ma'am, this is from the actual Collin County court files. I'll give you the link after the video's over with, Tay-T, so you can stop believing the lies and the cap that these grifters are out here putting on the internet that are profiting off a young boy losing his life and another one in prison. Talking about why didn't they show it in court? They did show it in court. This is the actual, I have the actual evidence. They did not produce a replica. They produced the real thing. I have it in evidence with the blood on it. It's in evidence. It's literally, see, when I send y'all the file, when this video's over with, I'm going to send everybody the file. So you can go look at all the evidence that's in the actual case file yourself. That way you'll see all the evidence that's presented in court. And guess what? I also have all of the paperwork to prove it's presented in court. You want to keep playing with me? Or you want to keep listening to these liars on the internet? Profiting off this situation. Instead of telling the truth, they think a lie gets them further. It's more interesting. It makes black folks go more crazy. It's disgusting. It's despicable. It's dishonorable. And it's a low down, dirty shame. And I'm going to send you the link. As soon as I finish cooking in this video, I'm going to send you the link. I'm going to send you the link. So that way you can see all the evidence that was presented in court. Now then you're going to be quiet. You're going to shut your mouth after this. You're going to shut your mouth after this. To the person who says, did they bring it in court? Excuse me, they did bring it in court. I told you it's in the actual court filings. They showed what they entered in court. Didn't I just tell you in the comment section, Dorothy Freeman, I'm going to send you the link so you can see all the evidence that was presented in court? Is something wrong with people? Listen, my people, a mind is a terrible thing to waste. It's a terrible thing to waste. A terrible thing to waste. Right? Now, I told y'all, I don't think he's guilty of first degree attempted murder. I mean, first degree intentional murder. I don't. Based off all the evidence I seen in this case, that's why I'm going through this with y'all right now. But what I won't do, I refuse to lie about it. Now, you guys keep making these lame-ass, lying-ass excuses. I'm going to give you the link. So after I give you the link and you'll see it, you can go down each of the dockets evidence to see what was presented in court. We going Sizzler. We going Sizzler. Are you out your mind? You really think they didn't present this weapon in court? What the weapon actually still had the blood on it. Let's keep going, y'all. The officer says in his statement, it's not first degree murder. It should be a manslaughter charge. Straight up. I totally agree. Listen, I 1,000% agree this boy got railroaded. And listen, he has a great chance for appeal. I'm going to say that right now. And I believe in his appeal, they're going to tear their ass up. They're going to expose a whole lot of bull jab that went down in this trial. And specifically, you have to blame his lawyer. Because his lawyer didn't bring all these things to the table. It's his lawyer's responsibility to defend him, not the district attorney, not the judge. His lawyer. His lawyer, I'm going to show you after I read this paperwork why his lawyer should have called Hunter Metcalf to the stand. Now, this is why I tell you, I bring factual information. I don't get into no this, that, no. I bring facts. So he says, next, he says, 2 high school age students informed me that the victim was in the north end of the stadium by the bleachers under a Memorial High School tent. I did not identify these students. Next, I proceeded towards the north end of the stadium visitor side on foot. As I got closer to the north end, I could see the Memorial High School tent up with multiple individuals under the tent. Once I arrived onto the north side of the bleachers, an adult male who was on the track pointed out, right, that the suspect, I was not able to identify that witness. Listen, y'all. The individual that was pointed out to me was a black male wearing a gray hooded sweater and a dark colored Nike pants. The suspect at this point was on, and to the person in the comment section, I'm going to answer y'all's question too while reading this. You asked a good question. You said, I refuse to believe there's no cell phone footage from these kids. Listen, here's the thing. You didn't really see no kids under the tent putting up cell phone footage or video. Everybody was kind of looking to see what the hell was going on. And then other people was like paying attention, whatever the heck they had going on, because a lot of other people around there didn't even know what was going on. It was raining. People was paying attention. They didn't even know what was going on, even when Karmelo ran down. They didn't find out till after the fact. But I tell you what, the lawyer did wrong, though. I'm going to tell you what that lawyer did wrong. I'm going to tell you what that lawyer did wrong that he's supposed to change up, that he didn't do right. What the lawyer did wrong was, ladies and gentlemen, that lawyer, he should have subpoenaed all those kids' phone records. You know why you subpoena all those kids' phone records that was there? And he can still do it. They can still do it in the appeal. All those people that was witnesses and anybody else that they can find that was around there, all you got to do is send a subpoena, and get their phone records. That way you can see what they were telling other people at the time. And you can see if certain files were sent, if certain video images were sent. You can see all of these things through their official phone records. Listen. So this is why I tell y'all, the blame is on the lawyer for Karmelo Anthony. He the one that did wrong. He did horrible in this case. Now, let's keep going. It says right here, y'all, the track on the north end, there was a chain link fence, you guys, that separated me from the suspect. I gave the suspect instructions to keep his hands up in the air. Now, listen, this is Karmelo Anthony's statements to the police right here. He says, first line, y'all, we got the first line. He says, there was a chain link fence that separated me from the suspect. I gave the suspect instructions to keep his hands up in the air. During this time, the suspect said verbally out loud, I was protecting myself. Period. I was protecting myself. Listen to what I said to y'all. It says, it should be noted, right, that I had not questioned him about the incident when he made that comment. Karmelo Anthony willfully told the cops he was protecting himself. Now let's keep going. He said it should be noted that I had not questioned him about the incident when he made that comment. That's true. We saw the body cam. He says, I asked him if he had any weapons. He said no. I patted him down for weapons while we were walking along the fence. I did not locate any on his person. I instructed the male to continue walking along the fence, which he complied, towards an area where there was an opening in the fence that led off the track. While walking him off the track, the suspect said he, and I quote, he put his hands on me. I then detained the suspect in handcuffs, handcuffed behind his back, and had him sit down on the ground. Officer A. Ricci had arrived on the scene at the same time. I conducted another pat down of his person and then searched his person after he gave me consent. No weapons were located. While the suspect sat on the ground, I advised that I had the alleged suspect. The suspect then responds and says, I'm not alleged. I did it. All the people saying, oh, he found a knife, take it in. No, that's not what he told the cops. I have the police report right here, the official police report. He told the cops, I'm not alleged. I did it. Next, Officer Ricci and I walked the suspect to the patrol vehicle number 2412. This officer, A. Ricci's patrol vehicle, which was on the northeast gate of the Kuykendall Stadium. As we were walking to the squad car, the suspect was emotional and said, and I quote, he put his hands on me. I told him not to. He put his hands on me. He didn't say, yo, they jumped me. They beat me down. They put me in a headlock. They did all this. They did all that. Oh, fake ass. Okay, like I said before, man, y'all out here listening to a stone cold offender. That don't make no sense to me whatsoever, bro. But let's keep going. And the people who follow behind him, they all sick. Let's keep going. This man told the cops himself that he told him that he put his hands on me. I told him not to. The cop says, I did not question the suspect about the incident while he was escorted to the patrol vehicle. I searched his person once again. I had him sit in the driver's side of patrol vehicle 2412. While the suspect sat in the back seat, I noticed fresh blood on his left middle finger. I verbally acknowledged that I saw the blood out loud so that it would be captured on my body-worn camera. He also noted that the suspect asked me, it should be also noted, he said that the suspect asked me, is he going to be okay? Meaning he had genuine concern for Austin Metcalf. This goes to the narrative to show y'all he did not purposely unalive this boy. That's why I told y'all all the lies and the extra cap and the D's these people putting on it, it's unnecessary. The truth is always going to shine to the light. But let's keep going. It says, it should be noted that the suspect asked me, is he going to be okay while he was in the back seat? I then identified the suspect. He provided his name and date of birth verbally, Karmelo Anthony, with the date of birth, which I ran through the FPD dispatch. Officer J. Hancock arrived on the scene and remained with me and the suspect at this point. Karmelo was then checked via eSchool database for the FISD students. Listen right here. And to the person in the comment section, the Vegas sector. Sir, you guys have to, bro, I'm telling y'all, bro. Lord Jesus, please help me, man. I want to say this, and I'm not being disrespectful to you. The Vegas sector, Wolina. Do y'all see him in the comment section? The Vegas sector, Wolina. I want to say something to you, brother. My brother. They never questioned him. He voluntarily gave statements without them even questioning him. So when you said, did they read him his rights before questioning him? They never questioned him. I'm reading this to you in the report. The cop said the man started talking before we even tried to ask him anything. That is confirmed by the police body cam. Listen, we're not finished yet, though, because you guys only saw where it went off. You didn't see where the cop actually got to. We're going to get to that today. This is why y'all got to relax and walk with me. I'm going to get you there. I'm going to take you to the water and I'm going to make you drink. So it says right here where I'm at, as we were walking to the squad car, the suspect, right, was emotional and said he put his hands on me. I told him not to. Right? Belinda. They don't have to until it's time for them to question you. Sometimes they wait till they get to the office to question you till they get to the station, man. You're not listening. The cops didn't ask him any questions. The only thing they asked him was legitimate question. Do you have any weapons on you? That's it. He admitted to the cops. And remember, the whole time, the cops said alleged, because he didn't even put him as a guilty suspect. He said alleged. That boy went to the cop and said, hey, man, I did it, man. It's on me, man. I did it. He went to the cop without the cop saying nothing. They actually have to get him and get his information first before you even get to that whole section. So Karmelo was already talking to him before they even got there. Listen, they don't stop you from talking when they getting this information, man. The cop wasn't even the cop was trying to figure out what the hell is going on. Remember, he's just getting on the scene. So let's keep going. So it says, read this because it answers your question in the next line. As we were walking to the squad car, the suspect was emotional and said, and I quote, "He put his hands on me. I told him not to." Now read the next line, y'all. It answers y'all's question. I did not question the suspect about the incident while he was escorted to the patrol vehicle. He answered that right there. I searched this person once again and had him sit in the backseat area of the patrol vehicle 2412. While the suspect was in the backseat, I noticed fresh blood on his middle finger. I verbally acknowledged that. I saw blood out loud, so it will be captured on my body-worn camera. It should also be noted that the suspect asked me, is he going to be okay while sitting in the back seat, while he was in the back seat. Then I identified the suspect. He provided his name, date of birth, verbally as Karmelo Anthony with a date of birth bleep, which I ran through the FPD dispatch. Officer J. Hancock arrived on the scene and remained with me and the suspect at this point. Karmelo was checked via eSchool database for FISD students to also confirm his identity. The identifying information he provided matched the individual I had in custody, Karmelo Anthony. Next, I was advised by Sergeant Holland to transport him to the Frisco Police Department jail. Now, this is where we getting real now, because we only saw the body cam until this point. Now, you finna hear what else happened. Again, I did not question Karmelo Anthony about the incident. That answers your question right there. Now, let's keep going. Upon arriving at the Frisco jail, Karmelo Anthony was escorted in the intake area. FPD jail staff changed him out into jail attire. I remained with the jail staff the entire time that he was charged over. The clothes that Karmelo was wearing was placed in the FPD paper evidence bag. The clothes remain in my possession from this point on. Upon Karmelo being placed in the jail cell, I continued to keep possession of his clothes. I returned to my patrol 2412 along with Officer Hancock, which was in the FPD Sally Port, and placed Karmelo's clothes in the back trunk area. I drove patrol vehicle 2412 out of the Sally Port and parked in the squad car in the FPD patrol parking area. Karmelo's clothes remain in the trunk area of vehicle 2412. FPD crime scene technician K. Dillard then took possession of Karmelo Anthony's clothes. I added my body-worn camera to the case. I have no further information to report. Now, he passes it on. Now, let's go to the next one. Supplemental, right? Now, we finna figure out what. See, this is why you got to have paperwork. I don't be listening to people come up, yeah, you know what I'm saying? No, we don't know what you're saying. Bring out some goddamn paperwork. Bring out some official. Instead of doing celebrity living room gossip and lying and capping and misleading the audience, bring us something tangible to the table. Instead of I know they got it. I know they got it. I know they know you ain't know they got shit. The hell wrong with people? Embarrassing everybody. Embarrassing. Let's get to it. Officer Allyson Ricci. Same date, same time, different cop. She says, I was wearing the full Frisco police uniform and I was operating a fully marked Frisco police vehicle 2412, right? So she says, look, the same thing. This is the female cop that was with him. She says the same thing. Then she says she has nothing further after they pass the case, right? She did provide assistance. She was the lady that was with the dude. Now let's get to it. Here we go right here, y'all. Now we get surgical. 17:04. This is 5:04 p.m. Officer Will Otis. Right? Now this is the same day. Now this is what y'all need to know. Frisco Police Department officers were dispatched to the Frisco Independent School District, right? The David Kuykendall Stadium, right? That's the address in Collin County, Texas, in reference to a stabbing victim call. Frisco Police Department Emergency Communications was receiving an emergency call regarding an athlete that was stabbed. The originally unknown assailant was a black male wearing a gray hoodie and blue sweatpants and also had a goatee and short hair. The subject was possibly wearing a Centennial High School, right, attire, as it was believed he was a student there for the sporting event. This had all taken place on the visitor side of the stadium, the north side, and the victim was under the Memorial High School tent in the bleachers. At around this time, school resource officers, SRO, Cortez arrived on the scene and began assisting victims, trainers, and other parties. Officer Cortez also advised on radio that he also had the suspect. Sergeant Oates was working the 50s sector as sergeant. He was also in full Frisco Police Department uniform with distinct patches and badge and police duty belt. He was also in a marked Frisco Police Department patrol vehicle number 2315. He was relatively close to the call and placed himself on it around 10:02 hours and responded to the call with his patrol vehicle's overhead emergency lights and sirens activated. He arrived to the call at around 10:06 hours. Sergeant Oates arrived at the stadium and began walking up to the location. At around this time, Officer Cortez and Officer Ricci were walking a black male suspect away from the stadium. The suspect was crying hysterically. Please see the other involved officers' narratives for their involvement. Sergeant Oates walked up the visitor bleachers and observed the victim being treated by the Frisco Fire Department personnel and also the athletic trainers. The weather began to turn and it began to heavily downpour rain at this time. Some of the FISD staff moved the memorial tent to cover the victim and the FFD personnel. Sergeant Otis began using his city-issued phone to snap crime scene photos and preserve as much of the scene as possible. So here we go right here, y'all. Everybody asked, well, I don't see that much blood, Ticket. It was pouring down raining. So remember, when he went up, even his father said he went up a couple of those bleachers and dropped a knife. That knife is not under that tent. That knife is getting wet in those bleachers. That's why the knife looked like this. This is why the knife looked like this on the scene. See, everything, if you just read the paperwork and have any type of just common sense. I mean, I know right now, the world we live in, it ain't common to have common sense. It really ain't. But that's why. Right there. Right? That's why right there. Right? So let's keep going. So it says, right? He says, it began to heavily downpour at this time. I'm right here where the arrow's at, you guys. He says some of the FISD staff moved the memorial tent to cover the victim and the FDD personnel. Sergeant Otis began using his city-issued phone to snap crime scene photos to preserve as much of the scene as possible due to the weather and the large gathering of people that were involved in the incident. Other officers began to set up crime scene taping, removing non-essential personnel out of the immediate area. The officers on scene were informed that the knife that was used was tossed and was still believed to be somewhere close. Eventually, one of the witnesses said they remember seeing it on the bleacher still. Officer Shawls was able to locate the knife. It was between row 9 and 10 near seat 30, closest to the aisle, partially open, right? The rain begin to come down. Now, why would the knife close? Because if you throw it, when you throw it down, it's automatically going to close if it lands on his head. If the knife lands on his head, it's going to kind of close. So people are saying, why was the knife closed? Yeah, because when he threw it down, if it landed right there on the pin of the knife, the other part is going to kind of close halfway. You got to use this is where critical thinking skills come in. Critical thinking skills. Not no, street mentality. No. Critical thinking skills. Let's go. So it says it was located between rows 9 and 10 near seat 30, closest to the aisle, partially open. Right? Now let's go. Let's keep going. Right? Yeah, you're right. I'm not CNN news. I'm not biased. I don't lean to one side. I say what it is, and it is what it is. You got a problem with it? Hey, get your ass on out of here, dog. Ticket don't lay down for nobody, nigga. Now, like it said right here, the rain began to come down heavily, and it was determined that instead of moving the knife, the officers would cover it with a large blue tarp. So that tarp that y'all saw, they covered it to preserve the crime scene. That picture that y'all saw with that large blue tarp. Sergeant Otis assisted in preserving the immediate crime scene as much as possible, while the other personnel tended to the victim and eventually transported him. Around this time, Officer Wetzel had the crime scene log and began logging the individuals on the call to the best of his abilities. Lieutenants Crawford and Pemberton relieved Sergeant Otis of the scene. Sergeant Otis went back to the police department to download his body cam and photos he took with the city-issued phone. Sergeant Otis' city-issued phone had a total of 33 photos that were used to document the incident scene. During the download, the initial photos formatting was incompatible with the crime scene folder. He re-downloaded the photos that he took, and they were able to be saved properly for the preservation of evidence. Now, at this time, that cop had nothing else to report. Now, here we go, y'all. Officer Wetzel, 17:04 hours. That's 5:04 p.m. Texas time. On Wednesday, April the 2nd, 2025, Officer Wetzel, number 3698, was assigned to work patrol in the city of Frisco approximately at 10:02 hours. I responded to the report of a stabbing at the stadium located at Bleep. The original call notes stated an athlete had been stabbed in the chest and that the suspect that had stabbed him goes to Central High School. Athletic trainers were on site and were providing care, and the victim was advised that he was not conscious and not breathing, right? The notes also indicate that the suspect was a black male with a goatee, short hair, wearing sentimental gear. I arrived at the scene approximately 10:06 hours. When I arrived, I grabbed a roll of crime scene tape from my trunk, proceeded to the visitors' bleachers, where the dispatch advised the victim was, right? While I was walking towards the visitors' bleachers, I was approached by a witness. Here we go, y'all. Now the cop says, here we go. I was approached by a witness who identified himself as, and for the witness protection, they bleeped out that name right there, who began telling me what had happened. And I asked him where the stabbing occurred. Bleep advised it happened under the Memorial High School pop-up tent in the visitors' bleachers. I immediately informed Sergeant Otis where the witnesses started the stabbing occurred and gave him the crime scene tape to start securing the crime scene. I then had Blank move to the walkway under the visitors' bleachers out of the rain to further speak with me. The following is a summary of my contact with Blank. As he advised, he was sitting under the Memorial High School pop-up tent with his team and was near the victim, Austin, and the suspect, who was later identified as Karmelo Anthony. Anthony was from Centennial High School and was sitting under the Memorial High School tent. Austin had told Anthony that he needed to move out from under their team's tent, and Anthony grabbed his bag, opened it, reached inside it, and proceeded to tell Austin. Now, I tell y'all, this is what happened when they got into that argument. touch me and see what happens. He said no one really thought Anthony really had any weapons in his bag. And Austin proceeded to touch Anthony. And then Anthony told Austin to punch him and see what happened. A short time later, Austin grabbed Anthony to tell him to move. Now so what happened was the witness right there on the scene told the cops. He touched him. Karmelo put that hand in that bag and said, hey, man, look, I'm telling you right now, man, punch me and see what happened. So he said he waited. See, I told y'all, between all the lies and the cap, the truth gonna somewhere be seeping out. Said he sat there and waited a while. Look, peep now. Remember I told y'all they was under that tent for a while. Let's read this again, because this is very important, right? This is very important to the self-defense claim. I'm telling y'all this. Y'all have to listen. That's why you don't need no lies. The truth is right here in the paperwork. The real paperwork that's in the docket. Now let's get to this. It says right here, y'all. Let's read this one more time from where I'm at right here. It says Austin had told Austin Metcalf told Karmelo he needed to move from under the team's tent. And Anthony grabbed his bag. He said, Anthony grabbed his bag. Grabbed his own bag. Opened it and reached inside. So he had his hand in his bag, just like I told y'all. Remember I told y'all this? Now, right? And he proceeded to tell him, touch me and see what happened, man. He says, no one really thought Anthony had any weapons in that bag. Austin proceeded to touch Anthony. Austin proceeded to touch Anthony. So you already touched him. Right? And then Karmelo Anthony told Austin, punch me and see what happened. Right? A short time later, Austin grabbed Karmelo Anthony to tell him to move. And he said Anthony pulled out. So Austin assaulted this man. He put his hands on that man. He assaulted him. That's illegal. You cannot physically put your hands on somebody to remove them from an area. That's illegal. And to the person who says, this is right when the cops came up. So they didn't even got time to talk to nobody about this story. Right? He put his hands on that man. Point blank. This is why Hunter Metcalf didn't get on the stand. Because if Hunter Metcalf would have went up there and said anything else but the truth, the whole case is toast. The whole case is toast. They were the aggressors. That man gave him a warning. He touched him. He said, yo, punch me and see what happens. Then he said he grabbed this man. We all saw it because we know he pushed him. That's when he stood up and pushed his ass. Right? So he says right here, y'all, Austin Metcalf grabbed Anthony to tell him to move. Right? And Anthony pulled out what Bleep recalled as a black knife and stabbed Austin once in the chest and then ran away. Austin began grabbing his chest, telling everyone to get help. Bleep advised that he did not know Anthony's name, but stated another Memorial track member, Bleep Bleep, we all know now, that's good old, hey, you know who, was friends. Game over. Eddie lied. Eddie lied in court. It's right there. It's right there. This is why I told y'all, we don't need no lies. Black community, we don't need no lies in this case. Eddie. Good old Eddie. Good old Eddie. The witness on the scene even told the cops that Eddie was friends with Karmelo. That right there in the paperwork gives great enough reason for Karmelo Anthony to be under that tent. Read it right here. This is the reason why I tell y'all, when it comes to doing paperwork, I'm the best there is, I'm the best there was, I'm the best there ever will be. Eddie was friends and he got up on that stand and did what Judas did to Jesus. He turned his back on that man, according to them reports, and said, I don't know him, when they were friends. And the witness that day in the police reports told the cops, right here, he advised that he did not know Anthony's name. Look at where my arrow's at. But stated that another Memorial Track member, Bleep Bleep, we all know now, known as Eddie, was friends with Karmelo Anthony, and he could identify Anthony. Game over. And this is why I told y'all, you don't need no lies on YouTube. The truth gonna do it. It's all in the paperwork. It's all in the paperwork. But let's keep going. See, your boy, I'm going to tell you what I think happened. I think your boy switched up real quick when he saw that boy got killed and he died. Right? And so somebody who said, you're not listening. The person from his track team said that, hey, Eddie know who he is. That's Eddie's friend. So everybody who lied and said Karmelo was just over here, he had a reason to be under there. Good old Eddie invited him over there. That takes first degree premeditated murder off the table. Completely. Any good lawyer would have brought this up. But the fact that they let Eddie get up on the stand and lie, according to the reports, and say he don't know him, that's disgusting. When in the police report, this other witness told the cop on the scene, that's Eddie's friend. He can identify him. Read it right here. It's in the paperwork. This right here. And y'all smash it. Y'all need to share this video. This is very important what I'm showing y'all. This right here is a game changer. Because they all lied to y'all and said, well, Karmelo didn't have no reason to be under that tent, man. He had no reason to be under that. No, that's a lie. His friend was on that team, and his friend allegedly turned on him in that courtroom under all that pressure and said, nah, I don't know him. Oh, what you mean? They got photos of y'all together. So now this changes the entire narrative, y'all, that Karmelo went over there to pick and instigate a situation. That's out the window. The truth is that he was invited over there and that he had a friend on their track team right there, as you see it right here as I show y'all the arrow on your screen. See, this is why it's important to pay attention to every single detail, and this is why I do it. I don't put out lies or cap on my channel. I pride myself on putting out the great information, and they did that boy dirty, filthy, and the truth is going to get him in an appeal. You're going to see. It says that Bleep Bleep was friends with Anthony, and he could identify Anthony. Right? Another Memorial Track member, Eddie, right there, you can see it, was friends with Anthony. This is what another person from that team, the same Memorial team, told the cops on the scene. This is before a lawyer could get in and talk to the kids. This is before somebody influential could get them to make up their stories. This is why this police report is the most important part of the entire investigation. And that is why the lawyer should be ashamed of himself for doing such a poor job. And I'm going to tell y'all something. I believe, and I told y'all this on the first day, I believe Eddie knows he has to live in that town. I believe Eddie, and I don't know what grade Eddie's in or whatever, but I don't think Eddie wanted to deal with the smoke of telling all those people that Karmelo Anthony was my friend. Because if Eddie stood on business and told the truth and said, yo, that's my friend, what do you think is going to happen to good old Eddie? So in my opinion, Eddie took self-preservation. When he got in that courtroom, act like he didn't even know Karmelo. And they still pulled out photos to prove that they were friends. Think about what I said. Think about what I said. All of this will be brought up in the appeal. It will all be brought up in the appeal. It goes on to say, they would describe Karmelo Anthony as a black male, skinny, with possibly a goatee, short puffy hair, wearing a Centennial High School clothing. This concluded my contact with Bleep. I was instructed to start a crime scene log. I retrieved a crime scene log from my patrol vehicle, and I began starting the crime scene log. I was later relieved by Officer Shawls, who took over the crime scene log, and I cleared the scene. Nothing further to attach. Original report. Next officer. Next officer. Next officer. Officer Jerry Hancock. 15:04 hours is when he put his in. He says, today while I was working as the SRO at the Independence High School, y'all see the address. He said a weapons call was dispatched over the air detailing a stabbing that occurred at that middle school stadium in Frisco, Texas. After hearing more dispatch call information, I drove to the scene. While en route, I heard Officer Cortez says he has the suspect in custody. When I got on the scene, I looked for Officer Cortez and went straight to him to hold security with the suspect that he had cuffed and secured in the police squad. Multiple witnesses were providing statements to the officers where the stabbing occurred at Memorial High School track tent. Only a short time later, Officer Cortez and myself escorted the suspect, Karmelo Sincere Anthony, to Frisco holding facility. Anthony was transitioned off to the jail staff without incident. All jail paperwork was completed, and CID took their investigation from there. Officer Alvin Fisher. Officer Alvin Fisher, y'all. Right here. He says that he was dispatched to the stadium. In regards to a stabbing, the notes stated that the athlete had been stabbed in the chest, was unconscious, and not breathing. When I arrived, the crime scene was already marked off. The suspect was in custody. I began asking people if they were witnesses to anything. I made contact with Hunter Metcalf. Listen, y'all. This is very important. Everybody pay attention to this. Smash the like button, share the video, subscribe to the channel. Read the paperwork. The officer, Officer Alvin Fisher, says, I made contact with Hunter Metcalf, Bleep, and then Eddie. They were both breathing heavily, and crying due to the nature of the events. They were with the coaches on the field, and it was pouring down rain. We made the decision to relocate to a locker room just to the east side of the rain. Once in there, things calmed a little bit. However, they were still hysterical and could not really talk in there. Right? Let's keep going, y'all. Could not really talk in there. I learned Hunter was the brother of the victim. I attempted to ask them both what happened. I could not really get anything out of Hunter. Listen, y'all. Listen very closely. The cop says, I couldn't get anything out of Hunter on the scene. But Bleep, this name right here marked out, who is that? Stated that they wanted to speak. I asked him what happened. And he stated they were all sitting on the bleachers. Like I told y'all, they were sitting on the bleachers under a Memorial High School tent when another male who he did not know walked over and sat under the tent. Bleep then said Austin Metcalf told him that since he did not go to Memorial, he had to leave the tent. Austin and the male went back and forth. Remember I told y'all they was arguing sitting down there on the bleachers? Austin and the male went back and forth. And Austin stood up and pushed him to get him out the tent. Didn't I tell y'all there was no jumping? There was no beating. There was no banking. There was assault by Austin Metcalf, and that's against the law. Remember I told y'all this? And everybody said, oh, ticket, man, but no. That's assault. That's assault. He was sitting down, and I told y'all, they were all sitting down. And y'all didn't want to listen to me. But when it comes to this, I'm the best there is, the best there was, and the best there ever will be giving this paperwork. And you better believe that, Jack. Didn't I tell y'all yesterday in the video? When I saw that video, I got a golden eye. That Austin stood up over that boy and pushed his ass out of that tent. Well, that's exactly what this witness said to the cops on the scene at that very moment, before he was coached, before they were able to be talked to by a lawyer, before all these other things. Karmelo Anthony was assaulted. He was assaulted by a man who tried to push him out of the tent while he was sitting down. It's right here. Read it. Read this statement again. Bleep. Right here where I backed it out. Well, let's read this again right here. Right? He said, I asked him. The cop said, I asked him what happened. And he stated that they were all sitting on the bleachers under a Memorial High School tent. Listen. They were all sitting under the bleachers. Listen now. So Karmelo is sitting under the bleachers too. He's sitting under the bleachers with the Judas. You know who the Judas is. They sitting under the bleachers chilling. Austin comes over there. Hunter comes over there. They sit down. Hunter and Austin tell him, hey, bro, you got to get out of our tent, boy. Period. They went over there and said, you got to get out of our tent, boy. Peep game now. Peep game. They're the aggressors. They're the aggressors. Now, look at this, y'all. The cop said, I asked him what happened. And he said they were all sitting under the bleachers on the under the Memorial High School tent when another male who he did not know walked over and sat under the tent. Bleep then said Austin told him that since he did not go to Memorial, he had to leave the tent. Austin and the male went back and forth, and then Austin stood up and pushed that male to get him out of the tent. Bleep said during this time of arguing, the male was reaching around in his bag. It was at this time he took out a knife and stabbed Austin and then left the scene. This was all Bleep remembered when he talked to me. We have established that Austin Metcalf broke the law when he physically put his hands and attacked Karmelo Anthony. You can legally not put your hands on someone to remove them from a place that's public property. That's illegal. It's legal to ask them to leave, but you cannot physically force them to leave. That is assault. That is assault. There was no jumping. There was no beat down. All this shit people lying about, it was none of that. It was a dude by the name of Austin Metcalf who thought he had some big ones and stood up on this boy and tried to push him out that tent while he was sitting down. Says it right here. He says, after this, I stood by with 3 athlete witnesses until CID arrived and interviewed them. I was then relieved by an SRO and went back to patrol. I have nothing further. Let's keep going. Let's keep going, y'all. Officer Mike Crawford. At approximately 10 hours, 10 o'clock, 10 o'clock, was dispatched to the stadium. Stabbing call. Arrived on the scene and observed medical personnel and several bystanders standing next to a subject later identified as the victim, Austin Metcalf. The medical personnel were actively engaging in life-saving measures with Mr. Bleep Metcalf. I observed the crime scene was created around the area and began collecting names and contact information by the bystanders. I met with Officer Wenzel and directed him to begin a crime scene log. As he was getting the needed paperwork, I took over his responsibilities of monitoring the witness, Bleep, to the event. Ultimately, the witness was taken to another area out of the rain, and Officer Shawls took over the crime scene, and I forwarded information about bystanders to him. From that point, I worked with coordinated response from SRO, CID, and PSO. Right? Karmelo was not being snatched back under the tent, Patrice. After Karmelo got pushed, he went back and poked dude, and that's why he went back. After he pushed him out, he went back and poked him, and then he ran up the top of the bleachers. That's what happened. He didn't get pulled back in the tent. People are lying. That's a whole lie. Karmelo got assaulted. That dude tried to push his ass out of the tent while he's sitting down. He pushed him so hard, the whole tent moved. So Karmelo, once he did that, Karmelo reached with a knife, jerked back at him, boom, did what he did, and then ran up top of the bleachers. That's exactly what happened. It was no beat down. It was no headlock. It was no punch. It was none of that. Period. Ma'am, it was not. I'm sorry. It's right here in the police report. It's all on the video. It's in the police report. The parents, everybody's talking about it. The only people that's saying, oh, I did that, is people in the that wasn't there. Period. Right? So let's keep going. Right? And I have a question too. My whole questioning would have been to the coaches. Well, why haven't the coaches charged? Why would the coach put a student in charge to kick other students out the tent? That's you're perpetuating a violent situation when that's your job. The fact that the teacher or the coach got no smoke, I got a problem with that. I got a problem with that. Let's keep going. Got another one for y'all. Officer Shawls. Now this one's gonna be good. That video has not been chopped up and screwed. I already analyzed that video. I had that video analyzed. That video is a full video. It's not been chopped and screwed. Sorry, Patrice, that's not going to work. That video's not been chopped and screwed. I had that video fully analyzed. I had the video fully analyzed. That video had not been chopped and screwed. Nope. That was literally Carmelo Anthony running up them bleachers as fast as he ran. That little nigga fast. I don't want to bring lies to you, but this is the truth I'm giving you. See, a lot of people will tell you lies just to push a narrative and keep black folks angry. I'm telling you the truth. The truth is enough to say, hey, man, this kid did not attempt cold-blooded murder. The truth is enough for that. But let's get back to this, right? And much love to you, man. There's no disrespect to you, baby. Let's get to this, right? Because this one is very important right here, y'all. Officer Shawls, Jacob Shawls. Now, this one is important. To the person who said police lie too. No, the police not going to lie when they taking active notes inside of this investigation. This is, you got to understand, this is what the parents were complaining about. The witnesses told the cops this, and then they went to court and said something different. This is why the parents thought they were going to win the case. You guys got to understand. Listen, just listen and comprehend what I'm saying to you. The parents thought they were going to win the case because of what, y'all? Because of the witnesses' statements on the scene. The parents said we thought that was enough. But when they got to court, all the witnesses lied and went away from their original statements. That's what I'm trying to tell you. The problem is nobody knew what their original statements were until now. So these kids admitted that Carmelo Anthony was approached and assaulted first. Peep now. They were approached and assaulted first. That is the case. Carmelo Anthony was approached and assaulted. He didn't approach anybody. He wasn't looking for trouble. And this is based off the own statements of the officers. Other witnesses to the officers. Listen to what I'm saying to you. Listen to what I'm saying. So when they got in the court, they all changed their statements. Eddie said, oh, he ain't my friend. I don't know him. He's a damn lie. What do you mean? What do you mean? Your own teammates telling the cops in the statements. That's why the parents said they went away from everything they said in the statements and lied when they got to the court. Because here's the thing. They had time to be coached. That's why they didn't put Hunter Metcalf on the stand. This is elementary. This is why they didn't put Hunter Metcalf on the stand. They would have put Hunter Metcalf on the stand. He's done. They couldn't put Hunter Metcalf on the stand because Hunter Metcalf already admitted in the interview that his brother stepped in to handle that business. So if he admitted that on the interview, he can't come in court and say something else. He's done. The whole case is done. That's why I told y'all it was prosecution. It was a legal massacre in there by Karmelo Anthony's lawyer. There's no way you don't call him or Karmelo to the stand. That is disgusting. This is what I'm telling y'all, and there is no video. Everybody keeps talking about new video. There is no new video. That's a lie, y'all. There is no new video. People are lying on YouTube, and y'all buying this shit. Hook, line, and sinker, bro. Y'all are literally buying these lies. It's new video, dude. Do you think they would show anybody black a real video that would exonerate a black man? Use your brains, man. Please, people, black people, please. They're never showing black folks a video that can exonerate. And at that, a whole bunch of black folks. They ain't never showing black folks a video that can exonerate a black man down there in Texas like they're not doing it. Those people lied because they wanted to help Karmelo, and Karmelo didn't need help. Just the truth in the story itself should free him of those first-degree murder charges. Period. He should have been charged with manslaughter. That's it. He should have been charged with manslaughter. That's it. 2 to 5 years max. Accidental death. Period. The problem is that when your lawyer don't do his job, this is a real problem. So now you get all these other people wanting to come in because they feel like it's going to go left. They tired of seeing black folks get banged on. So they're like, shit, we going to lie. Fuck you. And they don't know what they're doing is they're hurting the credibility of this whole situation by putting out lies. Because what's going to happen is this. And everybody listen to this video. Watch what I tell y'all. Somebody's going to go to the prison. Some news company is going to go to the prison. They're going to do an interview with Karmelo Anthony. He's going to debunk all the shit these liars are saying on YouTube. Karmelo's going to say, hey, look, man, the dude pushed me. That man going to tell the truth. And then all these people say, he got put in the headlock, man. He got did this. He got did that. When Karmelo Anthony tell the truth, when he do that TV interview from jail, he tell the truth. Trust what I tell y'all now. And he talk about how them people walked up, dude stood up over him and pushed him out the bleachers. That's going to debunk all these lies about, oh, man, they got him in the headlock. They elbow dropped him, man. They punched him in his eye, man. They fucked him up, man. That's a lie, man. Let's keep going on the screen. Officer Schultz was working as the SRO at the Student Opportunity Center at approximately 10:01 hours. I was dispatched to a stabbing that occurred at the stadium located at, you know what, Collin County, Texas. It should be noted my location is approximately 200 yards from the stadium. Upon my arrival, I tried to get an updated location of the suspect, right? I could see, no, he should talk. And I'm going to tell you why Karmelo should talk. Because an appeal ain't guaranteed. Even though we feel like he has a great chance to get an appeal, he should talk and go on record. You know why? He should go on record because his truth is bigger than any lie they can put out. This is what you got to understand. His truth is bigger than any lie. He should put his story on the record. He should say exactly what happened. Yo, I was sitting down. Old boy invited me over. I was sitting down, minding my own. Hunter and Austin came up and sat down over there right where I was sitting. Start talking greasy. Start talking crazy what they was going to do to me. Because I told them I wasn't going to move. So when they did that, I said, bro, touch me and see what happened, bro. when they told me what they was going to do to me. Austin got up, stood over me on the bleachers, and tried to push me forcefully out the bleachers. I didn't know if he was going to try and come punch me or whatever next, so I just reacted out of fear. I dropped the knife, ran out of there, and ran to a coach. I didn't run away. I didn't try to escape the stadium. I ran to the coach and tried to tell the coach. Right there. Listen what I told y'all. To the person who says definitely not talk to the news, no, he needs to talk to the news. See, that's the problem. Y'all don't understand. Black folks don't understand. You have to speak your story. Right? Now, this is what you do. You speak it with your attorney. See, that's why you're not listening. You speak it with your attorney. With your attorney, you speak that. This information was not out. It was not played like this in court. That's the problem. Karmelo Anthony did not testify. Hunter Metcalf did not testify. People lied on the stand and weren't G-checked on that shit. That's the problem. So when you say this information is out, yeah, we know it. That's why we telling you the lawyer did a shit job. Point blank period, bro. This is what we trying to explain to people. I don't know why people don't understand this. But let's get to this. Right? He was pushed. He was pushed right into the corner of that tent. To the person who says he didn't push out. He didn't push him. He tried to push him out exactly what I said he did. He pushed him right into the corner of that tent. That's why that tent moved when he pushed him. The boy was sitting down when he stood up over him and pushed him. Guess what? But you ain't got to listen to me. Read right here on your screen what they told the cops on the scene. So, and this is his witnesses telling the cops that he put his hands on that man first. So let's get to this. He says, upon my arrival, I tried to get an updated location of the suspect. He says, I could not see Officer Cortez when I arrived. Officer Cortez informed over the radio that he had the suspect in custody. At this time, I turned my attention to the victim. Multiple FISD trainers were already performing CPR. I could see blood on and around the victim. At this time, the meds arrived and began life-saving measures. I coordinated with other officers on the scene to secure the location. By this time, the students and FISD staff had cleared the area. I used the crime scene tape and began to tape off the area. It began to rain harder at this time. Sergeant Otis and myself moved a Memorial High School tent over the medics and victim to attempt to preserve an evidence that we could. A Memorial coach approached me and informed me that he was with a student who claimed to see the entire altercation. Now let's see this right here. I told the coach to stick with the student and that we would need to get him to the police station to give me a statement. The student quickly informed me that he knew where the suspect threw the knife and pointed me to his location. I located the knife with Sergeant Otis and could see blood on the knife. I quickly used my city-issued phone to take pictures before the rain could wash the blood away. Remember, everybody was saying, where's all the blood? It was the rain that was out there pouring down. I told y'all this. Sergeant Otis located a blue tarp, and we decided that we should cover the knife without touching it in an attempt to preserve any evidence. It was windy and raining hard. Since we positioned the tarp over the knife, I reached down and grabbed a backpack left in the stands to weigh the tarp down and threw it up by where Sergeant Otis was positioning the tarp. It was later discovered that the backpack I threw up was a suspect's backpack. This is the backpack he's talking about, y'all. So hold on. Let me go back to this. So this is the knife after the rain. Y'all asked about where the blood at ticket. I told y'all it was raining outside. That's the knife right there. Point blank period. It's not even a question, bro. It's not even a question. And here is Karmelo Anthony's backpack, you guys. Right there. Karmelo left the backpack, all that shit. That nigga got up out of there. He got up out of there. That's how you know he wasn't trying to offer dude. Bro, this man ain't even take the backpack with him. Bro, listen, let me tell you something. When you leave all your shit and dip like that, bro, you have to be a certain level of fear, bro. That's why I'm trying to tell people, bro. You don't even need to lie for this case. The evidence is all right there. The backpack was not closed. It's open. You see it right there? Hold on. You see it right? Hold on. Y'all can't see it. It's open right at the top. Look at the top. The big part is open. To the person who said the backpack was closed, it was not closed. It was open because Karmelo had put his hand in it. Remember, the backpack is open in that picture. Look at the top left-hand corner. That backpack is open. The backpack is open. Look at the top left-hand corner, the big part. That's open. It's unzipped. It's literally unzipped. You see it? Does everybody see that in the comment section? It's literally unzipped. I don't know why people come on the internet and lie, bro. This stuff is easily confirmable. There's no reason to lie. It's unzipped. Look at it. See it right there? It's unzipped. Let's keep going. Right? So, he says, right? It was later discovered that the backpack I threw up on the tarp was the suspect's backpack. It was the only Centennial High School backpack located within all of the Memorial High School backpacks in that area of the stands. After securing the scene with the crime scene tape and attempting to preserve as much evidence as possible, I assisted officers with locating other possible witnesses. Officer Wetzel was maintaining the scene security while I was assisting other officers. After the meds transported the victim, I relieved him of that post so he could go back to patrol. I maintained the scene security until the call was cleared. Right? Right? Y'all see this, right? Now, photos will be uploaded to the crime scene folder, and my body cam will be downloaded at the end of the shift. Now, let's keep going. Pemberton, right? Pemberton said, look, I arrived. I saw the knife, blase blah, saw the tarp, blase blah. Okay, boom. Justin Newton. He says, Officer Justin Newton says, I responded to the Texas Health Plan, right, to assist, right, with this case. I was tasked with meeting the ambulance at the hospital. I arrived prior to the ambulance and waited for them to arrive. They arrived at 10:46 hours with the victim, Austin Metcalf, who was brought in to the trauma bay for treatment. At 10:53, doctor pronounced him dead. Once he was pronounced, the staff stopped treatment and disconnected the cords and tubes from the machines without removing anything from the body itself. While still in the scene, I took possession of the clothing worn by Austin and maintained possession until CSI Dillard took them with me. While on the scene, Officer Landon requested assistance in lifting the sheets off the body to take photos. I then placed the sheets back when complete. I then stood by in the room for the security officer, Officer Landon, Officer Hernandez, CSI Dillard, took additional photos. At one point, they rolled the body and removed shorts from Austin, which were bagged and stayed in my custody until CSI took them. At 13:24 hours, my family was allowed into the scene, the family was allowed into the scene to view the body. I was informed by staff and officers they would be allowed to touch the head and the feet of Austin, which they did. At 13:37 hours, nurses from the hospital bagged Austin in a body bag. Damn. At 15:15 hours, a transport service for the medical examiner arrived and took possession of the body. Let's keep going. He says, number blah, blah, blah was placed on the bag and secured. I took notes during the time, which were scanned to the report and booked as evidence. I turned in the crime scene to log to be scanned to the report. At the conclusion of the call, I took my camera off covert mode and went to turn it off. At that point, I learned the camera had failed to activate due to being on covert mode. I did not see the indicator lights on the top of the camera, right? It says Officer Higgins said I was working the desk at this address at 10:42. Walked in the main lobby, stating that he had witnessed. He said okay. This officer says that at approximately 10:42, one of the witnesses walked into the main lobby, stating that he had witnessed a stabbing, and was told to come to the lobby to complete a witness statement. He says it seems like it's Hunter, a voluntary witness statement, which he worked on until detectives arrived to speak with him. Bleep left, and detectives and I returned to my normal duties, right? It goes on to say, Officer Craig Thomas, or Thomas Craig, excuse me. Officer Thomas Craig, right? So he says, upon arrival, I first made contact with Officer Cortez, who was standing next to a marked police vehicle. Officer Cortez advised me that he had detained the suspect in a patrol vehicle. I then responded to the victim's scene that was in the north bleachers. As I walked up, I noticed the Frisco Fire Department personnel was attempting to provide life-saving measures to a subject later identified as Memorial High School student Austin Metcalf. As other officers worked the scene, I was asked to respond to the stadium's medical locker room area and keep the following Memorial High School students as witnesses separated until detectives could speak with him. Here's the witnesses right here. J somebody, I don't know who that is. We know who E is. We already know who E is. We know who that is. And M, whoever that is, we don't know who that is. Right? So it goes on to say, while with them, I was told to take their cell phones from them and later turned them over to Sergeant Bissonette after being relieved. I was asked to make contact with all the FISD athletes that had been placed on school buses. Below is a list of the students who identified themselves as witnesses to the stabbing of Austin Metcalf. And here's all the students right here at that day. Let's count how many students were witnesses, y'all. Right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25 witnesses. No, my bad. 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32. You know what I would have asked if I was a lawyer? I noticed something here, y'all. I'm going to tell y'all what I noticed. This ain't all track members from that track team. I want to know, were these other people underneath the stadium? I mean, underneath the tent. Because if they said, oh, Karmelo couldn't be there, well, here's a question that the lawyer should have asked. Was this person here from Liberty High School boys track? What about this person right here from Liberty High School girls track? What about this person right here from Memorial High School boys track? So there was another Memorial guy that saw this? Was he underneath the tent too? These are all the questions that should be asked. Frisco High School boys track, was he underneath the tent? Huh? Were all these people underneath the tent? Look at this, y'all. Look at this, y'all. Look at this. Emerson High School girls track, were they underneath the tent too? So was it only Eddie the one that had to get out? Now see, I'm not Eddie, only Karmelo, because see, that's a big question. If Karmelo was the only one they kicked out, woo, that's targeting like that's bullying like a mofo. Because now, what are we saying? What are we saying, y'all? We're saying, oh, we don't want him in there. Because remember, this is why Hunter Metcalf would not get on the stand. Because Hunter Metcalf said in his interview on the internet, oh, well, we don't let other teams sit under our bleachers because of our stuff and everything like that. You know what I'd ask if I was a lawyer? See, they didn't call Hunter to the stand because they didn't want to open the door. But they should. The defense should have called Hunter to the stand. I'm going to tell you why. I would have said, Hunter, let me ask you a question. And I'm going to ask every last one of those witnesses a question. While you weren't here in the courtroom, I asked all those witnesses, were they sitting underneath that tent that day? Now, you said that you let nobody else from other teams sit under your tent. But why did y'all go F with this boy, but all these other people allegedly were able to sit under y'all's tent that day? I need you to answer that question for me. Why didn't the lawyer do that? That right there would have established bullshit to their story. That establishes bullshit right there to the whole prosecution story. Do you see what I'm saying, y'all? So it says, right? Right? Listen now. He said he also met with the following coaches who advised they witnessed the incident. So you had coaches that said, dude, why didn't they do shit? I would have grilled every effing coach up there. This coach right here, Maxwell Gonzalez, Centennial High School, said he heard the suspect confess to stabbing the victim. Vincent Hopper, Heritage High School coach, heard the suspect confess. Lakeisha Collins says she witnessed it. Mindy Yeatman, another coach from Independence, said she witnessed it. So if y'all witness it, why didn't y'all get in between trying to stop it? See, I would have grilled all the goddamn coaches on the scene. Y'all saying y'all witnesses. Why y'all didn't go over there when y'all seen them boys arguing? Right? Why didn't y'all go over there? Very great question. Very great question. Think about what I said, y'all. Right? 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 Answer that question. This is the real question we have to ask. Right? I'm just saying. You guys. We need to know this answer. We need to know this answer, you guys. Right? Listen to what I told y'all. Hunter Metcalf, he didn't get called to the stand because Hunter Metcalf admitted himself that his brother put hands on that boy. Right? Right? You know how I know? Hunter Metcalf, this is breaking news right here. Hunter Metcalf did not get on the stand because Hunter Metcalf told the cops that his brother pushed Karmelo Anthony first. And if he would have told the cops that, well, ladies and gentlemen, game over. If he tells that to cops, right? If he tells that to cops, game over. Let me show y'all what I'm talking about. I want to show y'all something. Y'all see the article right here. Out of Eyewitness ABC News. Eyewitness ABC News. Right here. Y'all see it. ABC News right here. Y'all see it right here. ABC News. On April the 5th, 2025. This is the reason why Austin Metcalf never took the stand, ladies and gentlemen. Austin Metcalf never took the stand because Austin Metcalf admitted to the police. He admitted to the cops.
New details about the killing of Austin Metcalf, the student stabbed at a high school track meet near Dallas. According to the arrest affidavit, 17-year-old Karmelo Anthony has confessed to the killing, saying he was trying to protect himself.
Right there in front of you, ladies and gentlemen.
Hunter Metcalf says he held his twin brother Austin as he was dying
and spoke to officers at the scene. He said that his brother told Karmelo Anthony he had to leave the tent because he didn't go to memorial. The two went back and forth.
It happened at the district championship meet in Frisco. Hunter says his brother had asked Karmelo to move his seat because he was sitting under the wrong tent. A witness says Karmelo replied, "Touch me and see what happens." And when Austin grabbed him, Karmelo allegedly pulled a knife.
This is the real reason. And this changes the entire case. This is the reason why
he's now charged with first-degree murder.
Was not called to the stand. Hunter Metcalf was not called to the stand.
Austin is being remembered as an honors student with aspirations to play college football. Despite the shocking loss,
would have implicated his own brother.
He chooses forgiveness over anger.
As a person who not only initiated verbally, but physically.
The arrest affidavit says as Karmelo Anthony was being arrested, he asked if Austin was okay.
You don't need no lies.
Anthony is being held on $1 million bond.
You don't need no fake videos.
Andrea Fujii, ABC News.
You don't need no AI.
New York.
His brother told the cops. And the fact
we are following breaking news
that
this
Karmelo
morning.
Anthony's lawyer, Mike Howard,
cold storage facility
did not call Hunter Metcalf,
as we've learned what may have started the fire that's
to the stand, who had already admitted
now. Eyewitness News
to the
reporter
cops
Monica Dianda is
his
live
brother
at the
started
scene
this whole
with what we've
situation.
learned overnight. Monica?
That's a tough pill to swallow for me.
I want to paint the picture for you. Take a look at what we're seeing out here. Still very much.
And that is the real reason.
Here you can smell the smoke.
The real reason.
Mask on. And then further down, we see a ladder.
That is the real reason.
At least one fire ladder where they are dousing this warehouse.
Why they
water.
didn't call him.
Really going at it from different angles and trying their best to make progress on this situation. We know that at 9 o'clock this morning, local officials, including the Los Angeles Fire Department and the county's local health department, they're going to give an update, so we're going to stand by for that. But we want to get to some new overnight video of what the fire looked like. You can see one of those flare-ups there on your screen. We're now going on day 3 of this fire, with the Los Angeles Fire Department describing the massive blaze as a very complex fire with numerous hazards for firefighters. The warehouse itself is 500,000 square feet, and what's making the firefight tricky is that the fire...
The real reason. Why?
Fire is essentially underneath the roof, believed to be burned.
Who was assaulted by Austin Metcalf.
Between the top of the pallets and all of the product and the roof space.
Did not take that
Residents in the area are urged to wear masks
because Hunter Metcalf told the cops.
Fire crews work to make progress on this fire.
I'm more optimistic that we're going to extinguish this fire.
The person says that that's the real case. Why didn't the jury come to the conclusion as well? Because the jury didn't have anything to go off of. The jury did not see this. The jury only saw.
Now, we did see new flare-ups overnight, and fire officials warn we'll likely see more of that. Even if you don't live in Boyle Heights, the smoky smell is...
Only saw what was entered in the court. That's all the jury saw. Period. So when that's all the jury saw, what else is there to talk about? Right? Right? Real question, y'all. Real question. Right? Real question. Right? That's the truth. It's right there. Right? Think about what I said to y'all. Karmelo Anthony's attorney should be ashamed of himself. Right? He should be ashamed of himself. Repeat what I said. right? So I apologize for having the volume up. I didn't even know. Somebody told me in the comments. I had to turn it off. But y'all see right here. Y'all see right here. Right here on your screen. He told the cops. He told the cops that his brother assaulted Karmelo Anthony. You can go look this up officially in the news reports. ABC News reported this on April the 5th. They reported this on April the 5th, 2025. They reported that. Right after it happened. So when they tell y'all, oh, why didn't Austin or Hunter Metcalf testify? Why would he testify? He would destroy the case. That's the last guy you want to put on the stand. He's the last guy they want to put on the stand. Sad situation, man. Very sad. Right? That attorney, horrible work, man. Horrible work. Right? But as you guys see right here, you can't get around what he told the cops. You cannot get around what he told the cops. He told that to the police. Now, so everybody says, well, why didn't they? Well, it has to be introduced in court. See, if they didn't introduce they didn't introduce Hunter Metcalf to prosecution, and then Karmelo Anthony's attorney don't call Hunter Metcalf as a witness, how the hell is that going to get introduced in court? That's a big part of the case right there. That's a big part of the case. Forget all the witnesses. Hunter Metcalf, his own brother who was sitting right there, said the man pushed him. He assaulted him. He implicated his own brother. It's right there in the paperwork. I tried to tell y'all. This is the reason why it's important to pay close attention to all of these things I tell y'all on this channel. As y'all all see right there, there ain't no getting around this. There ain't no getting around this. He definitely told him. He definitely told him. Y'all see it? Y'all see it? So you gotta ask yourself, what we doing? What are we doing? Because if he told him that, what the hell are we doing? And somebody needs to ask Mike, hey man, why didn't you call that guy to the stand? He told the cops that he put hands on that man first. This is the reason why he did a horrible job. Simple as that. Simple as that. Right? Think about what I said. Right? Peep game now. So y'all need to start asking these questions. We all need to start asking these questions. Why didn't the lawyer bring this up in court? Why didn't he do it? Why didn't he do it? Right? $1 million question. So now I have major question. Right? That's $1 million question. And that will forever sit with me. Why didn't the lawyer jump on that? I will forever think about that. But I think I know why. In fact, I'm pretty sure I know why. I'm pretty sure I know why. I think I know why. I don't even think. I'm pretty sure I know why. Pretty sure I do. Right? Oh, yeah. Sad situation. Truth gonna come out, though. Some way, shape, or form, it's gonna come out. It's gonna come out. I want to check something. I want to check something. Let me see one thing. So, most definitely, man. You guys, y'all let me know what y'all feel. Like, share, subscribe.